Am I the asshole? My wife says I'm asking her to mask. Hi Reddit. Sorry for this sock puppet account. I am 34 meters and my wife Polly is 32F. Like a lot of couples, we debrief after our workdays. Polly works in a high-touch, high-interaction job, so we usually say our hellos, make dinner, and then eat separately so she can wind down a bit. Then, afterwards, we sit in the living room and shoot the shit. Polly has a mild neurodivergence that means she tells, let's call it branching stories. She will get bogged down in side stories and background stories and details that, frankly, add nothing to the core story about her workday. That's usually fine, but I've noticed it getting a bit worse, to the point that, by the time she's done, it's basically time to watch a show and go to bed. I mean, I'm spending upwards of an hour just listening and adding hum and oh wow, because she says she gets even more distracted when I ask questions. I brought this up with Polly, and she said that I am asking her to mask her disorder, and that's just how her brain works. I get that feeling, I really do, but I am starting to feel like I'm a side character here, because she takes up all the airtime that we set aside to debrief. Here's why I might be, and I said, well, we all change our communication styles based on context, right? And she said that's different, and that masking is not code switching. I just want some time to talk about my day, too, but I don't want her to feel bad. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. What I'm reading is both of you work outside of the home at the end of the workday. You cook and eat separately to decompress after eating. It's time to talk and catch up, however you never have time to talk about your day. Somebody who has been diagnosed with neurodivergence can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think wanting to share your life with her is expecting her to mask. Is couples therapy an option? Not the asshole. There's no reason why you guys can't take turns telling the day's stories. Also, you say she is untreated. Well, she needs to get treatment. My mom does this constantly. Is this a neurodiverse symptom? This may not work with your wife, but I tell my mother I'm losing the thread of her story, so can she get back to the main path. Another thing I do is time box her. When I call her, I let her know I have 30 minutes to talk. Yes, she does 99.98 of the talking and that's fine. But at the 25-minute mark, I interrupt her and tell her I have only 5 minutes left. Edito, not the asshole. Info, is the problem that you don't end up talking about your day and only talk about hers? Or is it that her stories are boring to you? I call my husband on my commute home to debrief before I get home. Then I sit in the driveway in my car like a troll and decompress before I switch hats to mom and wife. Anyway, you guys can do something like this. Can you ask to go first in the decompression ritual so you can have a chance to talk before she tells her winding tales? There's a difference between asking someone to mask, and asking someone to share the time you spend together more equally. It's not a conversation if it's one way, it's a lecture. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, especially since in the comments you say it's wildly untreated ADHD. So Polly won't get help for her neurodivergence and also thinks you're supposed to suffer through it? Yeah, no. Not the asshole. You weren't ill-intended. Perhaps there is a way the two of you can agree on some kind of signal sign etc. during a conversation that indicates the discussion may be going off topic. I don't specifically know of this condition, but perhaps doing something like this may help. Not the asshole. She's asking for you to fill her cup without any acknowledgement that she's draining yours in the process. If she insists that she has to do this, tell her you need her to find a friend to vent to half the time. It isn't fair for her to get to do exactly what she wants and ignore what you need. That isn't okay in a relationship, neurodivergence or no. My husband is ADHD, he does this all the time. I can't hardly follow along with what he's telling me, BC he goes off the rails. It's really annoying. He wants me to listen to his rambling but he doesn't care about hearing about my day. Our conversation him to me. How was your day? Me, it was okay, we had. Interrupting, yeah, cool, I did this, then this other thing, that thing, blah, blah, blah. Now I just say good, let him go. 15 years, y'all. It doesn't bother me anymore, BC, that's just how he is. I think she knows you're bored and feels hurt by it. She wants you to accept her, and this stuff you are bored by is also a big part of her. If this had been about you wanting to talk and tell about your day, I think this would have gone differently. But something tells me there was a hiccup in the communication that allowed her to feel that she is the focus of the problem, not the lack of give and take in conversation. Are you the asshole? I don't know. Is she? Probably not. I'm autistic and ADHD. I'm not sure from your post if you've said the sentence I also need time to share about my day. Maybe give you both a set amount of time and don't offer any judgments about how she uses hers. If she wants to meander, let her. That's her time. Then your time is yours to share as you like. Not the asshole. The way her brain works doesn't give her a pass to do this to you. Maybe it's time to start bringing up how your brain works. My wife does this. It's actually really great for her to mentally review the day and cement important details or do reflective analysis after the fact. Her chasing those branches is her filling in details and making connections that she feels important. I don't care or benefit from it, but I listen as a way to support her in her career. Not the asshole sounds like ad. Ad is not an excuse to talk for an hour straight. It's not masking, it's being a considerate partner. I have had, and it would never occur to me to monopolize my husband's time and then blame him for wanting something more equal. Not the asshole. This isn't asking her to mask, this is vocalizing your needs about how you two communicate with each other. Being neurodivergent doesn't mean she gets to do what she wants all the time and nobody can say anything about it. She's in a relationship with someone else who also has feelings and requirements of their own. Her needs do not preempt yours, and you're not wrong for talking to her about how best to balance them. Edit typo. Why not decide a set amount of time for each of you to talk and use a timer? Nah. I'm going to say not the asshole. This is one of my pet peeves. If someone wants to talk about work and all of it is negative, I'm checking out. I'm not a therapist. I'm not getting paid for it. Work already sucks for me. I don't need to hear the highlights of your shitty day. They're all shitty according to you. It's emotionally draining, especially if you know that there's no solution to it. There could be a solution, but they just want to vent. It's infuriating. Not the asshole. That's just how her brain works. So what? It's still boring to listen to, and narcissistic of her to monopolize your shared time. Like a lot of couples, we debrief after our workdays. Feel free to stop doing this. Be very concerned. It's very possible your wife is heading to or is already in burnout. The uncontrollable verbal diarrhea is a sign of that. She may not even realize it herself. It's extremely serious and can lead to long-term health issues. I really hope you read this comment, although it may already be too late and have gotten lost in the rest of them. Info: is she in therapy? I have similar issues, and when they ramp up, you said it's gotten worse lately, it means I'm under an unusual stress of some kind or need a medication adjustment. I can't in good conscience say anyone is the ass here without knowing if she's getting care. As an autistic, ADHD having woman in her early mid-30s, not the asshole. If she's neurodivergent, she should theoretically appreciate structure. Why can't you allot specific minimum times you both get to lead the conversation? Neurodivergence doesn't negate the needs feelings of the neurotypical people around us. She may have main character syndrome. Listening to one person tell an hour of narrative about their day is not a partnership. Neurodivergence is not an excuse for being a self-absorbed person. My wife doesn't have a lot of social interaction during the day, but she can unload for 5 or 10 minutes and be good. Anything more seems like indulging a person who is never properly socialized.